Go check out today's sponsor, GRAILrewards.com. Be a hero. Get a GRAIL. Yo, what's up, YouTube? It's Edwin, the Comic Jabroni, coming at you. Today is the 2nd of April, so it is the day after April Fools. Thankfully, I saw a whole bunch of nonsense going on Instagram and on YouTube. So thankfully, that day is over, and we are one day away from New Comic Book Day. Today, I'm going to bring you a special episode of Edwin the Comic Jabroni. Today, we're going to be doing a review video. As you can see, I got my Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship of the World next to me. As you guys know, I am a huge wrestling fan. I have been for as long as I can remember. You know, I grew up in the 80s, huge fan in the 90s during the Attitude Era. Kind of fell off a little bit. I've been picking it back up here recently for maybe the past 5 years or so with the WWE Network. So recently, I was emailed by a gentleman by the name of Ed Kynell. I hope I said that right, man. And he wanted me to think about reviewing one of his books, independent book from Suspicious Behavior Productions. You can actually go to their website, suspiciousbehaviorproductions.com, and check the book out there. So he hit me up wanting to know if I wanted to review his book. And I guess he knew that I was a huge wrestling fan. So I definitely took the chance and I said, heck yeah, man, I'll definitely want to review it. So he sent me in the mail Invasion from Planet Wrestletopia, #1. And he actually sent me issue #2, which I believe right now they're only up to issues #1 and #2. So let me see if I can put these right there in front of the belt. Yeah, dig it. So, got these in the mail the other night. Posted it on. Let's see, will those stay? Hope you guys can see those. So posted on Instagram that I was going to be reading these books that night and putting out a review video. So got the chance to do that today. And the first thing I can say right off the bat is I love wrestling and and I love comic books. So for them to put together, you know, both of my loves, it's such an enjoyable read. And I know what you're probably saying. Well, Edwin, they sent you the books, and that's what you're supposed to say. But in all honesty, if you are a wrestling fan, these should be books. These are independent, so we should support independent comic book creators. But these books right here, just right from the get-go, it's a really funny read. Right off the bat, you get the main character doing a promo, and his name is Rory Landell. So he's doing a promo talking about how he is the Galaxy World Champion, and that sets off a slew of events. The book kind of goes back and forth between like 1999 and 1984, right? So I'll get into that on why that happens. So in 1984, Rory Landell is wrestling for a promotion, and he's supposed to have a huge match that night, right? And he's supposed to go over. And by going over, I mean he's supposed to win. He's supposed to win the championship that night. So he goes and talks to the promoter, who, in my mind, looks and sounds a lot like Vince McMahon. So that's another thing about this comic is a lot of the characters have some things taken from different wrestlers that you would know. Like Rory Landell to me seems kind of like a mixture of the Macho Man, Randy Savage, and the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. Woo! Styling and profiling. So he's kind of like a mixture of the two. So he's told that, hey, you're not going over tonight. I know what I told you, but we're going to have, I think the other guy's name is Schultz, something Schultz. He's going to go over. And the reason he's going to go over is because he brings in numbers and he brings in families, right? That's the big thing about wrestling is the children, I guess, the kids and the mom. You're going to get that demographic of 18 to 35 males, but it's the guys like John Cena who can bring the money in from the kids, right? So promoter tells him that, and he says, no, you're a heel, which is a bad guy in wrestling terms. you're a bad guy. That's just how it's going to be. So he gives them this piece of paper, says, this is your promotion, this is your promo for tonight. Memorize it. This is what you're going to say. You also get a couple other characters. His manager goes by the name of Mr. Don Fong Wong. So this guy, he's not an Asian character. He looks more Hispanic, but he's got the Fu Manchu. And I'm going to be posting, because he also sent me the book on a PDF. So I'm going to be taking some of those pictures and I'll post them up so you can kind of see who these characters are. So he talks to him like, hey, you can't be doing this. You need the money. And he tells him this story about another guy who had a turkey farm, and he tells the promoter that, I don't need to be doing this. I could eat turkey for the rest of my life. And so Rory Landell gets this idea in his head, because he looks over and there's this pizza box from a pizza joint called Galaxy something or other. It says Galaxy and it has the globe on there. So during his promotion that night, he talks about, I don't care about being the world champion. And he pulls open his robe and he has a Galaxy World Championship around his waist. So that's it. That gets us into, so what is this Planet Wrestletopia? Well, if you guys remember, there was a TV show back in the 90s where there was, I wish I could remember the name. I'm going to end up having to put it down. Or Pete and Pete. It was on Nickelodeon. There was an episode on Pete and Pete where there was a kid who everybody thought was an alien, because all he could remember were NFL players from like back in the 60s. And their whole train of thought was, well, maybe it's because our signals, TV and radio signals, take so long to get across space. And he was only seeing old 60s, maybe because he's an alien. So that's how this kind of goes. So in 1984, that video and radio signal go out, and it takes like 15 years for it to get across space to this Planet Wrestletopia, where there's somebody, I guess, watching different radio and video signals, and he sees that Rory Landell is now calling himself the Galaxy World Champion. And that is kind of like a call to arms, right? That's a war declaration for these guys, because they come from a planet of just wrestlers. You don't really get too much of Planet Wrestletopia in issue 1. You do at the very end see their champion, and his name is Manifest Destiny, which kind of reminds me of a Ultimate Warrior, but he's wearing this mask, this like metal mask, and I'll post a picture right here. So I'm laughing throughout, because the comic is really a like, you want to say, a love letter to like 80s wrestling fans, because all these crazy promos that they're talking, and you also get a little hint of the movie with Mickey Rourke, the wrestler, because during those 15 years, nobody really wants to hire Rory Landell. He's kind of shot himself in the foot in every promotion that he's gone to. Nobody wants to hire him. He's a drunk now. His time is over. But in issue 2 is when you actually see Planet Wrestletopia come down to Earth, and you see them in different shots of like at Washington, D.C., and then you see them in Europe, and you see them in different places in front of these, these monuments, and they're doing these different moves to people, and they're trying to take over. And they keep saying, they send these goons, these hitmen out to go find Rory, who's in a bar, I think in Yuma, Arizona, getting drunk. And they come in and they say, hey, we got to take you to meet somebody. You're a promoter. He thinks it's just a promotion wanting to hire him. And I'm just laughing. I'm reading this, and I'm like, I could totally see this happening. Not as far as Planet Wrestletopia, but the old drunk wrestler getting called back to for one more match. One more match. So that's what he's thinking, and you can see on the covers. Actually, let me pull this one down so you can see it. So that's Rory. That's Rory Landell with his manager, Mr. What is it, Don Fong Wong, and that is Manifest Destiny up here at the top. So if you're into independence and giving a chance to other content creators, and you want to read, I would definitely go check this out. You can put it on, you can Google it, Invasion from Planet Wrestletopia, And actually, you can go to their website, like I said before, suspiciousbehaviorproductions.com. Really funny. Let me see. It's written by Ed Kynell and Matt Inton, who Ed was the guy that he messaged me, he emailed me. And the art is done by Dan Schkade. I hope I'm saying that right. So definitely a funny read, guys. Wanted to get on here and do a review. Little bit of review on 2 books that were sent my way. What can I say? On a scale of 1 to 10, even seeing that I'm a wrestling fan, I'd give it like a 7.5 to 8. The artwork is nice, and but it isn't like something that you would see, let's say, in like Heroes in Crisis, with so much detail put into everything. It's kind of, the artwork's drawn down a little bit. I wouldn't so much say that the book is for kids, because there is a little bit of foul language in there. The F-bomb is dropped a couple times, I believe. But like I said, if you're into independent writers, independent comic creators, and definitely if you're a wrestling fan, I would go check this book out. Invasion from Planet Wrestletopia. And I love this second cover. If you look at that second cover, this is Manifest Destiny right there, and he's in Times Square, and he's pointing all the people from Planet Wrestletopia. Go hurt the Earthlings, It's definitely a fun read. Like I said, guys, go check them out over at suspiciousbehaviorproductions.com. Definitely go by GRAILrewards.com. They are my sponsor. They sponsor the videos. They're doing awesome charity work over on that website, guys. They now have another charity opportunity for people. It is called Comic Rewards for Kids. And what's going on there is, for every 50 GRAIL reward coins that you put into a raffle, so you've already helped charities out, now you have your GRAIL reward coins, you put them into a raffle. So for every 50, they're taking a lot of 10 comic books, and they're giving them to local schools. As far as I know, they're giving them to local schools in North Carolina. I don't know if they're sending them out to different schools around the country, but definitely North Carolina. They're giving them to schools to try to build the readership in young adults, students, building the next comic book fans for the future, right, guys? So it's helping them read. Comic books are a great way to read, especially with my kids. The free comic book day, will read them with my kids. So go check them out, guys. GRAILrewards.com. Remember, Tuesdays I'm doing the live stream with Rod the Rican and Perry Comics. New comic book day. Buy your pass. That'll be tonight. Thursdays I drop my new comic book day pickups and reviews. This week's gonna be a big one, because I will be announcing my giveaway for April, which will be my 400 subscriber giveaway and my 1-year anniversary on YouTube giveaway. So it's going to be a big one, guys. Make sure to check that out. And Saturdays, I'm on Coast to Coast live with Jeffrey Comic Can and Rod the Rican. So I've been Edwin, the Comic Jabroni, or I still am Edwin, the Comic Jabroni, doing a review. Invasion from Planet Wrestletopia. Dig it? Let me tell you something, brother. Go check them out, guys. Awesome comic book creators out there. Support independent comic creators. I know if you guys watch my my new comic book day pickups, not all the time do I pick up independent books, but when it's something like this, I'm definitely digging it. I'm definitely into it. So go check them out. Thanks, guys. I'll see you tonight on the live stream, and then I'll see you on Thursday for my new comic book day pickup and review. All right? Take it easy, guys. Peace.